There has always been a crossover between the real steel world and that of airsoft. The constant strive for new innovative products and the next best thing has always been running in parallel. Well, here at Trigger Airsoft, we've also been consistently trying to bring new innovative products for our customers. That being said, I'm William, welcome to Trigger TV, and today we got something special. Here at Trigger Airsoft, we're now importing night vision devices. For our entry in the night vision market, we have here the NVG-10 monocular. From the outside, you can see that it's similar to your PVS-14 style monocular. The NVG-10 is currently running a Gen 2 Plus image intensifier on the NNVT style tubes. For this review, we'll break it down to three distinct categories. Number one, we'll look at the product overview. Two, we're going to talk about performance. And three, we're going to talk about a basic setup and just usage and how to get started using night vision. We'll have timestamps in the description down below in case you need to skip over to a particular section. That said, let's head right into the review. Product overview. So when you purchase the NVG-10, it comes as a complete set. So what we see here, it comes in a hard case. You also get a head harness. So really quick, for the head harness, if you don't have any setups such as like any night vision mounts or any helmets, the head harness, as the name implies, is a head harness. So you can wear over the head. It is adjustable. It's almost like a mini helmet, and it'll be able to be mounted right on. So you don't have any equipment, you can use this as just to start off with. So we'll set that aside. Onto the actual night vision itself. So we get a hard case here. So as you open it up, you'll see that you get a carrying pouch. You get a user's manual. You get the night vision device itself. You also get a cleaning cloth. And then you get the mounting system. So it comes preset, ready to go. Let's talk about the tube first, because this is basically what we're here for. We'll post the details in an overlay somewhere in the video, or you can look at the product page for more details. So we'll start tip to butt, and we'll see what it comes with. So at the very front, the first thing we can notice is it comes with daylight caps. So this is for you to use to test to see if the device is working in high visibility or daytime conditions. We do not recommend running the night vision for a prolonged period of time during the day or in areas of bright light, because it will or can be bad for the tube. So underneath, we have the adjustable lens. The NVG-10 is about 1200 FOM with a field of view about 42 degrees. So onto the left side of the device, we can see that there is a visible light sensor and also an infrared illuminator. On the upper left, we have the on and off switch. There's 4 position settings. We'll go through them right now. So number 1 is off. Off is off. The device is not on. Turning it first click, now we're on the on switch, so the device will turn on. Very, very simple. Now, for the third setting, it says IR. So what this does is the device remains on, however, the infrared illuminator is also illuminated. So this is for like really extreme low light conditions, or whenever you decide that you need an IR illuminator. If you have like a friend or foe marker or a reflective kind of paint and you need to see the reflection, the IR illuminator will also help you with that. And then on the final setting, we have AT. So AT stands for auto. So in this case, in this mode, the device will be on, And then the visible light sensor will basically continue to detect and also see what the brightness setting is. If it determines that the brightness is too low for the image intensifier, it will automatically turn on the IR illuminator for you. So that's a really cool feature. And when it detects that it's bright enough that it does not need IR, it will also turn it off. So you get 4 modes with that in the device. So moving to the middle, we can see the battery compartment. The NVG10 takes one CR1238 battery with a runtime of approximately 40 hours with the IR illuminator off. It is watertight at the end cap. There is an O-ring around there, so it is kind of water resistant. Moving to the back, we have the adjustable eyepiece, and also you have an eye cap that you can kind of flip behind or flip over depending on how you want to use the night vision device. So the whole unit is IP65 rated. What that means is it's dust proof and also able to handle most wet weather environments and conditions. It's also mil-spec shock proof, so if you drop it, bump it into anything, the whole unit should be fine. This unit and the NVG10 should definitely be more durable than your cheap Amazon night vision alternatives. So let's go into the second part. We're going to talk about the overall performance. Now, what does all that mean in terms of practical performance? So now we're going to cycle through a variety of different conditions, both outdoor and also indoor use of the night vision, just to see how well it performs. First, we'll start with the outdoor performance. Our first set of images is under a full moon with the IR off. Despite it being a Gen 2 Plus tube, the image intensifying capabilities is actually very, very good. A little hint of light actually lights up the whole tube completely. You can see very far in distance, especially into small brushes. So now we're going to take a look at another condition with no full moon with IR off to see how it performs in darker conditions. So as we can see, in even darkened conditions, the NVG10 performs extremely well. Definitely better than your previous Gen 2 tubes. We can still see very far out in distance and also minor details. So now we're going to take a look at it with the IR on, and we'll see if that changes anything. So we can see that the IR does help in certain situations. However, it's still not bright enough, or you can turn on if you need to identify friendly or foe tags if they have any reflective panel. We definitely recommend, as with any night vision device, if you're going to use this in conjunction with the IR light, that you actually have a dedicated IR light source instead of just relying internal illuminator as well. do also keep in mind with the IR illuminator on, you will feedback off your location. So if you're doing this in a game, you have to keep that in mind. So now we're going to move on to some indoor applications and we'll see how the NVG10 performs. So now, looking at an indoor environment, we can see that the NVG10 still performs very, very well. You can see very, very good details and also the shadows and the crevices. However, as with any night vision devices, especially with binoculars, this is where we can kind of see that depth of field. So you do have to watch out because it's very hard to judge how far you are from the actual object. However, this is common with any night vision device, especially with binoculars because it's only going on the one eye. So now we're going to take a look at it with the IR on and we'll see if it makes a difference. So with the IR on, we can see as with the outdoor scenario, it is much better because you are in an indoor environment and things and objects are a bit closer. Some objects also reflect the IR beam, but again, we do recommend using a dedicated IR light if you're trying to illuminate an object, but also do keep in mind that it will give away your position. So again, if you're using it on a field, you do have to keep that in mind. So let's take a look at the rough overview and what we feel like about the whole NVG10 system. So overall, we feel like the NVG10 definitely is very competitive with the other monocular systems out there. It is definitely very, very sensitive despite it being an NVT tube. However, it has lots of capability. You have your auto gating settings and also auto settings. So if you're trying to use it in low light just to view around, it will kick in that IR strobe automatically if it detects that it's too low. Even with the IR strobe off, the light sensitivity in this tube is very, very good. You can see a lot of good details, and even with a little hint of light, you can see that it basically lights up the whole tube, so you can see very far in the distance and also get very good detail. Definitely with most night vision devices, using it for outdoor applications is much better than using it for indoor applications. You just have to, again, get used to that depth of field difference, especially with the binocular. However, again, this is a very competitive device and it's in line with other devices that we have tested so far in terms of within the same generation. We would say this is definitely better than the Gen 2s, and also we would say that it's comparable with the early Gen 3s in terms of light sensitivity. Now let's look at a basic setup and also how to get started using night vision. As stated earlier, the item comes with a head harness. So head harness in the front, you'll note that it's similar to what you'll find on airsoft and also real steel helmets to be able to mount a night vision bracket. The second is the included universal helmet mount. So for the mount itself, it is quick detached, so it should be able to fit most helmets or kind of front mount systems. It is fully adjustable. So you can adjust for the left eye or for the right eye, depending on which eye is most dominant. You can adjust for height. Of the night vision. And then you have a quick attach and detach system that slides over with a little push button, locks the night vision in. There's two slots, so you can have it a little bit forward or a little bit rearward. And then you have a tension adjustment on the left side, and then a quick on and off button that clips into place, keeps the night vision secure if you're not using it, and then depressing and pulling down the night vision will put it in the lock position. And also a unique feature is in the quick on and off, kind of on the mount, there's a little kind of push bar. What that push bar actually is, there's a digital linkage that goes into the night vision. So if the harness or the night vision is not down all the way and having the arm impinging on the little push button, the night vision, even though that it's turned on, won't actually be on because it'll detect that the night vision device is not in position. So what this means is if it is on and it's not all the way down, you're not wasting extra battery power, you're also not wasting the tube and stuff, and it basically saves a lot in terms of the wear of the vacuum tube. And also if there's low light or if you're indoors all of a sudden and you need to flip it up because there is high visibility, high brightness, the tube won't be affected and it won't turn on. So it's almost like a built-in safety feature. This is what we found unique with the mounting system. With the whole universal mount off, if the night vision device is turned on, it'll just stay on. So it has to be matched. Underneath, you'll see that there's almost like a magnetic plate that triggers that kind of pressure switch. So to close out, this is the NVG10 complete package. We believe that this is very affordable for those getting started in night vision while also remaining competitive. You have everything you need right out the box, good to go. You don't need to find and assemble your own tubes. You don't need to buy the gazillion mounts out there in an otherwise very complicated night vision market. However, if you do want to put your own custom mounts or buy something off the shelf in an aftermarket capacity, there is room for growth out there. So thanks for watching our review on the NVG10 complete set. For more information on this particular product, please visit our product page on our website, or if you're local, feel free to drop by the store to see these in person. Our sales associates will be glad to help you out with that. With that being said, we'll see you on the field. This is Trigger Airsoft, out.